Yes, mate, how's it going? My name's Lee. Game week 38 is upon us, so for the final time this season, we're going to go through my team selection. Are you looking at taking a punt on a lone player? Are you trying to catch someone in a mini league? Stick around to hear my thoughts on some players. So if you're new to the channel, please consider subscribing. It really does help, it's just a little click down below. Anyway, let's rock and roll. Right, mate, so first up we've got the goalkeeper and the defence. I've opted for Edison over David Raya, but Ortega could easily come in, which would mean Raya comes in anyway. I'm going to take more of a punt on Edison. I don't see either team keeping a clean sheet. In that case, it might be better to go for David Raya in the hope of getting save points. And now I'm kind of thinking about it, that might be the route I go down. But if City do go full strength, because they dropped points last night, do they try and go for the win? Do they try and build up the momentum for the two upcoming cup finals, which I could see happening, but I might lean towards David Raya, which is it's just a strange position to be in. Like, why would you play a goalkeeper up against Man City? But if Haaland's not playing, then I think David Raya becomes a fairly decent option in goal. Someone like an Mbeumo up front is also a decent option if City are going to go quite weak. Onto defence, Luke Shaw. Man United playing Chelsea tonight. So this all comes down to whether United can beat Chelsea tonight and guarantee and secure that top four. If they do, I think Luke Shaw might be rested for Malacia to protect him for the FA Cup final. It's a tough one, mate. It's a tough one because ideally, like, I want Luke Shaw playing against a team like Fulham, especially at home. Like, we're so good at home. We've got great home form. One of those. I don't see me playing anyone else over Shaw. I think Shaw's the best out of these three, probably bar Trent. Trent away to Southampton. I think they're just gonna absolutely pile the misery on. I don't see Southampton getting anything from the game. I can see Trent just running riot in this game and doing whatever he wants. But you never know. Like, Southampton might fight back and they might get a result from the game. See what happens, because if United do win tonight, Liverpool have got nothing to play for. So you don't know, like Liverpool might feel a bit dejected, they might not turn up, Southampton might give them a real game, but I don't think they will. I think Liverpool are going to smash them, and the way Trent's playing, and I'm not even concerned about his defensive returns, like it's all about his attacking returns at the minute, goals and assists, because he's just in there, in and around it all the time, especially when he moves into that centre mid position. So definite start for me. I'm probably one of the first players that I'm happy having in my team. On to Trippier. This is a bit of a weird one where guaranteed top four, but he's club captain. I think they'll want to make a statement up against Chelsea. I don't think he'll play 90 minutes, but I think I can see him playing 65, 70, but definitely. You can see I've got Isaac on the bench. I can see Isaac playing number 9, and they can play a couple of weak players around him. I think Wilson will get rested. I think they'll play that Elliot Anderson, I think his name is. I think they'll play him on the wing. Almiron will get some minutes and all the usual kind of stuff. You notice I've got a Stupinan and Ben Mee on my bench. I just don't see me as an option. A Stupinan away to Villa, it's a tough game, and they're not that great defensively. So I think Brighton will concede in that game, but you pick Purvis for his attacking returns. If I'm going for that, I just prefer Trent over a Stupinan, and that's one of those 50-50 calls, and I get him wrong all season. So if I was you, I'd pick a Stupinan over Trent. I don't see myself taking too many hits this week. I am tempted to make a transfer in defence. I'm looking at a couple of players, mainly teams that are fighting for something. I'm looking at some Everton defenders, some like a Yerry Mina, Tarkovsky, Castagne from Leicester, because they need to win. Those players that have and potentially have some attacking returns in them. I could see Everton winning 1-0 with a Yerry Mina header, like 100%. I could see it happening. So they're the kind of players. Onto my midfield, and same as Luke Shaw. If United do the number on Chelsea tonight and guarantee top four, I think Rashford will be 100% rested. I think Bruno will get some minutes, but I think he won't play full 90. I can see him playing 45 and then rested from there because he plays every single game. So it all kind of comes down to this, and like, one of the things that I keep needing to remind myself is I might not even have 11 players in this game week. So I might need someone like a Ben Mee or an Estupinan to come in and actually make up the numbers. Otherwise, I might start taking all these hits. I don't really want to take too many hits this week, but I think I might end up taking a -4 because I don't have 11 players. And it all kind of comes down to that Man United contingent. If they all play, then I'm pretty confident of the rest of my team starting. But if those three don't play, then I think I'm in a bit of trouble. Like we all know what Rashford can do on his day. We all know what Bruno can do on his day. Both Bruno and Rashford out at a potential captain picks. So I think there's a few decent captains this week. I think I can see Salah being heavily owned. Haaland will obviously be heavily captained. I'm just not convinced he starts. I think Kane will be captained. You can see I've got Son in there as well, who's a bit of an outside bet. He's just been a terrible transfer in for me, but could I see a bit of madness from Son on the last game this season? Yeah, definitely. I can see an hat-trick in that game. I can see him absolutely running riot, but I'm quite happy with my midfield overall. Even the Brighton boys, if I should transfer any of them out, it's probably going to be McAllister. There's a few players that I am thinking about, and it's all the same teams, like all the teams that are fighting for something. Your Eze's, Elise's, Leicester, Everton, things like that, and I'll cover some more players later on in the video as well. But overall, like I'm relatively happy with my midfield. But if I was going to take any hits, it's probably there would be attacking hits. I don't see a hit worthwhile in defence. There's a couple of changes that I am thinking about making, potentially midfield and up front. And if I did take any further hits on top of that, it would be in those forward positions, looking for those big holes. Last but not least, we've got the forwards, and I've got the City boys. I've got Haaland and Alvarez. I don't see them both starting. I really don't see it. If Haaland starts and it's confirmed, is he my captain? I don't know actually. I'm not sure. I do quite fancy a Bruno punt, to be honest. But same again, it just depends if Bruno starts, and this is what I kind of keep saying. I don't know if I can even get 11 players out. So we'll kind of see how that goes. I might end up taking a hit to get Haaland out for someone like a Harry Kane. So like I might go McAllister to, I think Eze is going to be a very popular transfer in this week. Bring Eze in, Haaland to Kane for a hit. I can easily see that happen. And in that case, would you captain Kane? Maybe. I think Kane's a perfectly reasonable shout. If Haaland doesn't play, I think Alvarez will play number 9, which I really like. He was a decent transfer in for me last week. I'm hoping Bruno can do the business for me tonight, because he's my captain tonight, and we'll kind of see what happens with that. Overall, I think it's a relatively good side, and I'm quite happy with it. And there aren't too many changes I would make. What do you think about my team anyway? Are there any pressing needs that I need transferring out? Do you think it's worth taking a hit on the final game of the season? There's just a bit of magic there to take that hit on the final game of the season. It pays off. You can talk about it all summer then, you know what I'm saying? So leave a comment down below. Let me know what you're thinking of doing, and we can have a little chat. So I was having a little play about, and I ended up kind of making this, and I thought it looked kind of cool, so I thought I'd include it in the video. So these are the main plays I'm considering for game week 38 as a final day punt. Rodrigo, he's looking good, mate. He's looking good, and he could have took that penalty that Bamford missed, and if he does, that's 3 goals and 1 assist in 5 games. He's got decent returns. I think he's a good player. I think you could go for any other kind of Leeds asset. Someone like a Jack Harrison, a Nonto, I think are all very viable options to pick. But I've kind of gone for Rodrigo because I think Bamford's going to be out, and if he is, then I think Rodrigo will be number 9. Really low owned at 3.9%. His price point's a bit of a weird one, where he's not as easy to get to as the 2 players at the bottom of McNeil and Eze at 6.3, so he might be a push for someone like me, where I might want to go McAllister, who's 5.6ish, and I've only got 0.3, 0.4 in the bank, so I couldn't do this move personally. But if I was to take a hit, then I think Rodrigo might not be a bad option. And if you have got someone like anyone like worth more than Rodrigo, and you want to downgrade, I don't think it's a bad shout, to be honest with you. McNeil's on fire, mate. Up against Bournemouth, I think Bournemouth on the beach, he's just 3 goals, 2 assists in his last 5 games, 35 points. You don't need to talk more than that, do you? Less than 1% owned, 5.1, so you can literally go take anybody down and get to McNeil. They need to win. A draw is not enough for them. I think he'll take all the set pieces, and they do rack up decent XG. He's just going to keep whipping them in. I can see him getting attacking returns in this, and it might be another monster haul for McNeil. So definite consideration for me, and I do like the punt on McNeil because he's so well owned. Eze on fire again, mate. He's just got his England call up. Absolutely buzzing for him because he's such a good player. So definitely deserves it, and he's just in great form. 3 goals, 1 assist in his last 5 at home to Forest. Really cheap once again. I think it's easy to go from like Amatoma or McAllister and very easily to an Eze. So I can see this being a very, very popular. It's coming on by 8.9%. I can see this being 25, 30, 40% easy. Especially if he does pretty well. Kind of moving forward as well. Or like we get any news that anyone like might be out or injured, then I think this becomes a very easy move to downgrade, especially if you've got someone like a Bruno who's not playing. Take Bruno down to Eze, and then you've got all this spare money to take a hit on. I think that might be a very popular idea. And then I've literally just gone Leicester. Leicester versus West Ham. West Ham got nothing to play for. They've got the European final coming up. I think they'll make a lot of changes. They won't want to risk anyone. It might be some audition time for some rotation players, which anybody from Leicester. You can see I've got there Vardy, Maddison and Barnes, but I think you can put anyone else in there as well. If Dennis Pratt plays, Tielemans, Castagne, I don't mind anyone from that team. Could we see a bit of like a romantic Jamie Vardy special hat-trick on the final game this season? Yeah, 100%, mate. I'd love a bit of that. It'd be class. Absolutely class. So I don't mind any of those kind of hits. If Haaland isn't playing, I'd probably go Kane personally, but I don't mind something like a Jamie Vardy kind of gamble. Are you thinking of bringing any of these players in? Do you think I've missed any low-owned punts? Leave a comment down below and let me know who you're thinking of bringing in. Right, mates, that's it for today's video. So we went through my final team selection video for the season, game week 38. We discussed some potential players that you can think about bringing in, and then I kind of focused in on 4, 5, 6 players at the end, kind of talking about these punts that you could potentially take a risk on. And there's definitely gains to be had. I'm just not sure if a hit's going to be worth it. I would only take a hit if you're struggling to get 11 players. If you don't have 11 players, I don't think it's that bad of a hit. And if you are chasing someone in a mini league, I think it's worth the risk, because you're only going to stay behind them anyway, and you're not going to get anywhere by not taking a risk. So have some fun with it. Bring in whoever you want to bring in, and have some fun. Good luck. Anyway, if you enjoyed the video, please subscribe, leave a like, leave a comment down below, and I'll see you in a couple of weeks. Peace and love.